Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Wealth Madness, right? Because wealth is always the topic of conversation when you are tuning in my channel, right? So let's get into it. I will give you a 3-part. We have 3 days in this series because we want to get right into it. No fluff, just straight meat. Okay? So this is my personal methodology to activate your wealth, your inner wealth, your path to wealth, your authentic path, right? Your personal path, right? Everyone has their own unique path and mission and calling to wealth, okay? So as you can see, we are in the car. I wasn't planning to record from the car. You see the ring light behind me. Things did not work out as planned, but the show must go on. So let's get into day 1. It's about crowning the mind, right? AKA becoming the money, right? This is a huge mindset shift when you start to rewire how you think about money, rewire how you think about yourself, how you value yourself, right? So day 1 is about crowning your mindset. There's 3 parts to this. So grab your notes, grab out your pen and your tablet, something to write with, because you want to write these down and go deeper beyond this YouTube, okay? So day 1, let's crown your mindset. Let's become the money, right? That starts with first being aware that self-awareness is very key to building wealth. Knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing where you want to go, and knowing the direction to go, right? So building wealth requires a high level of self-awareness, okay? So a part of being aware, let's get into this first aspect, is to rewire your money story. Are you aware of how you talk to yourself about money? Are you aware of the relationship that you have with money and how your emotions react to money, right? First, you want to be aware of the money story so that you can rewrite it, okay? Every single person is born with a money story that either supports where they're going or not, right? So it is up to each individual to identify whether or not that program is worth sticking to, okay? Because I figured out the program that I was on before in my first half of my life was not worth sticking to, right? I wanted to become self-sufficient, totally and fully self-sufficient, right? And own my power, my skills, and my life, right? So first, you have to be aware of that story. What is your money story? Is your money story telling you that working this 9 to 5, taking to the next level, right? It's one of those traditional, I would say, vehicles, is nothing, which is nothing wrong. But today we are focusing on awareness. Where you are first we have to focus on where you are in order to get to where you want to be. Okay? So, how do you speak about money? How do you think about money? Right? How do you feel as you are thinking and making these payments on your bills, and just fully be assessing how you move and how you interact with your finances. So we got number one, rewire your money story. First, create that awareness of where you are so that you can rewire and frame where you want to be, right? So after we have written down rewire money story, number two is you want to own your value, right? And limitless potential to build and create wealth. You and me and everyone on this planet has limitless potential, to build wealth. But if you are not aware of that, you're not going to move accordingly, right? You're going to think that you need to seek everything else outside of you, when you yourself are the limitless source to your wealth. But first, we have to be aware of that, right? We have to be aware of who we really are, right? And with me being a believer of God, with me trusting in God, I understand that I am made in his image. So therefore, if he is an unlimited and limitless potential, infinite potential, then guess what I am, right? So you want to fully own that and move accordingly, right? So number three is embodying the wealthy energy, right? It is really moving as a wealthy man or wealthy woman, right? Not moving in a scarce, impoverished way, right? I have a quote in her $1 Million Attitude. I believe it may be the second chapter, a quote by Alice Walker, and it says, the quickest way to give up your power is by thinking that you don't have any, right? So if you thought you didn't have this limitless potential, you would continuously seek everything outside of yourself for growth, right? But once you understand that, majority of the time it takes you going within in order to expand your capacity first. It takes you going within versus hearing the ideas from someone else, what they think you should do, right? So you want to begin to think, feel, and act abundantly. This is the basics of embodying that wealth energy, right? You are moving as a wealthy individual, okay? Self-awareness and self-trust unlocks your divine overflow, okay? When you know yourself fully, and when you start to trust yourself and your moves, when you start to trust God, yourself, your moves, divine activity starts popping off, okay? Magic begins to break through when you are at your highest level of awareness and trust within yourself. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in to day 1 of Wealth Madness. Rewire your mind, your money story, own your worth and limitless potential, and embody the energy of wealth. See you guys tomorrow.